G'day everybody, it's summer and my shed's a mess. Apologies about that, I got to get in and clean it up, but give me a break. I've just been in harvest for the last couple of months and working ridiculous hours. I'll get to it. But anyway, this is a quick review. This is on the King's 9-inch driving light. Now, for those who have been watching before, you can say, oh, hang on mate, you've done this before. Yes, I have. I have reviewed these before. I did an 18-month review. We're now at basically 2 years, and I do have a little update for you, so I thought it was worthwhile covering off this again. So this is the Adventure King's 9-inch light. The current model of this model now, I don't think you can buy it anymore. It was available up until fairly recently at a discounted rate to the newer model, but in any event, I think it has changed. I know it's changed, but there is a little wrinkle here that you do want to be aware of. So, as per my last review, I really like these lights. I like them so, especially for the money, for like $100, $99 including delivery or something. I think I got these for. They were so good. I actually changed all my cars over to the same light. So I've got a few vehicles on the farm, and they've all got them. For $99, they're just worth having. Absolutely phenomenal at night. So yes, I obviously like them, and that's generally the conclusion of my reviews. Well, would you buy it again? Obviously the answer here is yes, because I have bought them again. But having said that, there is something that a couple of my lights have done, which is a detractor in my mind. Now, right up front, I will say you could look at this and say, okay, well look, they're a $99 light. So, you know, if they last a year or maybe 2 years, hey, that's pretty good, that's fine. Sure, you could say that. They are a cheap light, especially considering some other, you know, prominent brands such as Light Force or ARB. You know, they are a very, very, very cheap light. So you'd say, oh, you know, if they've got a defect, then so be it. I just think it's an unfortunate defect, and one that Adventure Kings should rectify. So the light itself is working fine, never had any problems with that. I do find that the screw system on the side, you do need to tighten it every now and again. They don't seem to stay in place. I've gone to putting Loctite on my nuts now, adjusting them, putting Loctite on them, tightening them up real tight, and they seem to hold a little better. But over time, I do drive on a lot of dirt roads, so that is what it is. But compared to my old Light Force lights, which I went Light Force for years, and then went to these. Obviously, a halogen Light Force is not as good as this in terms of light, but I never had to adjust the mounts on the Light Force lights. They just set them. Done, easy, fixed. Whereas these, I find you do need to adjust them or wax some Loctite in them. Anyway, on the mount itself, you've got this little AK here, little AK on the side of the, it's a steel mount, and you have this little AK here. Now the AK obviously stands for Adventure Kings, and that's lovely to have that little embellishment on the side of it. That's what you see when you're driving along. You don't see that, but okay, anyway, they want to have their little stamp on the side of the steel mount. Fine, I guess. The problem is I've had 2 of these cracked now. So this here has cracked through the lettering, because you've got to see, like there's not much steel in between the outer of the mount and then where the A starts. There's a lot at the back where the K starts, but where the A starts, there's not a lot of steel, and there's not a lot of steel between the A and the K. So I've had one of these mounts crack. Driving along, noticed one day my driving light was hanging down on one side, and I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. The mount had cracked, hadn't hit anything, it just moved over time obviously, and it had enough stress and vibration or whatever, because there's a steel mount mounted to a aluminium bull bar, so not a lot of, you know, forgiveness there. That constant move cracked the mount, and then the other day, this driving light, I hit a galah on the driving light and snapped the mount, and it snapped in the same place between the A and the outside of the steel mount, which was a bit annoying. Now, I hit a galah. Yeah, you say, oh, we hit a galah. Well, too bad. You know, that's probably going to bust your light anyway. But although I've hit galahs, or you know, don't do it deliberately, but you might hit a cockatoo or something on that's flying off the side of the road on a driving light, and I've done it with hella lights, I've done it with light force lights, and I haven't actually broken them out yet. But so one of them just cracked, no outside impact, and then this one cracked when hitting the galah. So, and I only bring that up because the good news is that the mount itself is steel, and it's thick enough steel that you can weld it. So that's exactly what I've done. So this is the undamaged side. This is the damaged side. So that there, it's been welded up. We've welded it up. We've ground it back smooth, and then painted it with some matte black paint. Now it just looks like a solid steel mount. Can't see. On the inside you can see the weld. You might be able to see that on the camera. But on the outside you can't see anything. It's lovely flush steel. Can't see a thing. And that's my point, is that if I was Adventure Kings, little note for you Adventure Kings, take your embellishment off. No one can see it. Nobody's not going to buy your driving light because you don't have AK stenciled in the mount. It's just providing a weak point. And when I hit the galah, obviously it snapped through. I pulled the mount, I had a look at the mount, and the mount had been rusting. So there was a hairline crack already in the steel, so much so that it had rusted. All the galah did was finish off the job. So if I hadn't hit it in a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, it would have cracked through the same as the light did on my Land Cruiser. So it was going to crack anyway. The galah hitting it just did a bit of premature death, because you could see it had cracked, and enough so that moisture had got in there and it started to rust. It wasn't a fresh split. It had already started to crack. So Adventure Kings, take that out. Make it a solid mount, please. It would be far better. It doesn't change my review. I still recommend these lights for $99. I think they're great. If you spent your entire life on bitumen, never hit a pothole or anything, you might be fine. But this is sold as a 4x4 and adventure brand. So I would assume that most people that buy these lights are looking to go off-road or traveling down dirt roads. And who wants to be, you know, out in the middle of nowhere and have your driving mount crack through, then you've got to toss your light in the back of the ute or four-wheel drive or whatever until you can fix it. And I don't know, look, maybe all you four-wheel drivers out there have got welders and you can weld it up like I have, but there'd have to be a proportion of the clientele out there who do not have that option. And by the time you take that light to someone and say, look, hey mate, can you weld that up for me? You know, they're going to charge you $50, $100. The whole new light's $100 brand new. Are you going to bother to do it? Probably not. You're probably going to toss it out. Unless you've got a mate or someone with a MIG who can weld it up for you, you're probably bin it. So it's just an unfortunate and unnecessary part of this light. So I still recommend the light. I think it's really good. Adventure Kings, you could turn this into something really simple, a really simple improvement to make it an even better product than what you already have, and take that out. Make it a solid mount, no embellishment, you cannot see it. You're not going to miss any advertising on the Adventure Kings because you've got your Kings logo on the front. Everyone's going to know where the lights came from. And if you don't know if you're driving past, you go, geez, that looks like a good set of lights, and you see Kings on the front of it, trust me, Adventure Kings, the AK on the side is not going to be the catalyst for them to figure out where the lights came from. If they can't figure that out, that's not going to make it any easier. So get rid of that, make it a solid steel mount. It's going to make the lights better, it'll make them last longer, and might just hold up to that punishment a little longer. Certainly shouldn't crack on a dirt road like my original pair did, and might even take the brunt of a galah hitting it, who knows. Anyway, for what it's worth, I still think the lights are good, as I've said. The new ones have got a revised design, and I would be fully expecting that they're better than these ones, and they're pretty much held at the same price. But because the mount's still the same, hopefully, if they haven't done it already, take those words out. It looks like they're still there. They don't need to be there, and it would make a better product. Hope this was useful for you as my part 2 review of the Adventure Kings light. Thanks for watching.